Cracky. Cracky.
Front, now we're going to see a little four-wide action.
Crazy out of the triangle.
Oh, he gets into the lead under record.
3x3 entering four.
Three do. At the flag stand, side by side, it's going to be Jason Maines winning at Talladega. Hello everybody, welcome into the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series here live at Talladega Superspeedway. Thank you for joining us here on Ghost Racing Network. We are getting ready to get live, and I am excited to have special guest, co-broadcaster for tonight, Jacob Emery, as of course Matthew Baker was not able to make it. Jacob, how are we looking tonight?
Man, I am excited for this Blaster 120 here on Thursday. I cannot wait. I'm looking at the list of drivers, and I see some big names. Let's get right into it, man.
Let's go ahead and get started. Pole sitter tonight is going to be Zachary Lima. How about second place, his teammate Steve Korsak? David Sheet starts in third with Gabe Butler to his outside, and fourth, Sean Hill, Jason Maines make up row three. It's going to be Thomas Parker and Jeff Merck rounding out your top eight. NASCAR Brambilla starts ninth, Cody Nagels in 10th. It's going to be John Ellis Jr. back in 11th. Starting in 12th, how about Trevor Oswernoth? Seth Reeder starts 13th. Dustin Carruthers in 14th. Ken McCall Jr. in 15th. Michael Trasquero, series owner, starts 16th. Joshua Watson and Heath Job round out row 9. And rounding out your top 20 is going to be J.R. Miller and Ron Morris Jr. Devin Rea 21st. Brian Watson 22nd. Mike Davenport 23rd with Daniel Eberhardt working by himself tonight, starting in 24th. How about Brett Garber? He currently sits 25th for the start, and there's Sierra Clampert. Go check her out live on Twitch right now, starting 26th. Got a lot of work ahead of her, but we'll see what she can do tonight. Richard Elliott, one of the JBR e-racing drivers, he starts in 27th tonight. Danny Barnes in 28th. Jordan Stenzel in 29th. Christopher Hodges rounding out your top 30. Logan York and John Darnell in row 16. Ryan Baste and Alejandro Masta Diaca starts in 34th position. William Fox 35th. Jackson Byes in 36th. Ian White 37th with Dylan Jones rounding out row 14. John Ward 39th. Brock Westmoreland in 40th. Chad Ross 41st. Ambrose Knievel 42nd. Corey Buskirk 43rd. Mark Vondell 44th. William Scott in 45th with Joshua McCall 46th. Jeremy Osborne and Jack Colton round up row 24. And rounding out the field for a dead even 50 trucks, how about Cash Culp and Carson Freeman? Big field here tonight, Emery, but before we go any farther, let's go ahead and talk about your race info real quick. We know where we're at, Talladega Superspeedway for the Blaster 120. 45 laps tonight here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, 100% fuel. Unlimited tires, as always, one faster pair of fixed setups. But now we have unlimited green-white checkers as well, and that is certainly going to shake some things up. Track temp tonight under 100 degrees, so I don't think handling is going to be too big of an issue. Winds also nice and calm outside at 2 miles an hour. Weather outside as well, 71 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and 46% humidity. On that note, we are getting ready to go green. Let's head down trackside. This first row, we know, Emery, the Dale Cup boys are very dominant. What do you look for here on the start?
Man, I'll tell you what, they're going to get after it right off the bat. The pace car lights are already off, and they're going to go green here shortly. Zachary Lima is going to take us away. I cannot wait. Austin, this is exciting. Thank you for me being here. Let's go racing tonight on a Thursday, baby.
Here we go, rolling up into the Geico restart zone for the first time, looking for the green flag in the air. And we're going to get it. We're racing here at Talladega, 45 laps away to decide a winner here tonight at the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series. Good jump right off the bat from the two teammates. Steve Korsak, Zachary Lima get off, rolling down into turn one. That outside line can have a big run here down the backstretch.
As they go side by side, I'll tell you what, you talked about the list of drivers. Big money on the line. First driver tonight to get the win. Going to get that $200 mark as we got a wreck going quick. Yellow comes out quick.
David Sheets slides back down. Oh, man, gets tagged in the back. Huge hit by the 06. Couldn't tell who that was. Not what I expected for the start of this race. Somehow they all missed him, though, Jacob.
Yeah, as you were talking, we only have one fast repair. So if these trucks out here are getting damaged early, they've got problems. We've got a lot of laps left. That was only one of 45. We got to go a lot longer than that here at Talladega.
Let's take a look back at what happened. Actually, you know, initially this is unfortunate for David Sheets and the other driver involved. We couldn't tell exactly yet because initially they were going to escape this. You see, it looks like Sean Hill was pushing and, ooh, maybe not sure if that's kind of an odd spot. Not sure if that three-truck tandem going on, maybe Sean Hill just slightly pushed him up the track, and then, of course, Steve Korsak was there, so they hooked. You know, sometimes with this new tandem package, we can see that kind of happen, but let's watch it slow. That second truck in line, and, ooh, yeah, it looks like Sean Hill maybe just gives him a little bit more of a push than he's ready for. It slightly sends him up, but Steve Korsak looking for a side draft is there and sends him right across the nose. Now, watch this. Everybody somehow, some way is going to miss him until finally they're not. Boom, big hit. I think that might have been Christopher Hodges. Sure enough, it was.
Contact by Chris. Yeah, man. It was actually good driving there at the end. Those guys trying to avoid that truck coming down the lane. But, man, one truck couldn't do it and had some contact. But, man, unfortunate. Early on caution. That's not typical of a Thursday night race. Let's see what happens as these guys get their nerves back. Ooh, that's a big hit, Austin.
Absolutely. All four tires off the ground. And I think that's going to be a quick fast spare for Christopher Hodges. It's going to definitely put him at a standstill for the night. We'll have to see what he can do for the rest of the way through. And tough break for David Sheets. You know, it's bad rear end damage. I'm not sure. It looks like he did get back rolling, but he's also got some front end as well. Now, a little interesting enough, thing we learned in the last week here about, you know, we've been talking about all the issues with what we like to call ARCA braking and et cetera. Now, we got to remember that for a lot of these guys, the way their PCs are set up, they may not have the big expensive PCs, and for some of them, certain trucks don't load in until they get within probably 10 truck lengths or so. And if that's the case, sometimes it's really hard to avoid, especially when you commit to a certain lane. And it doesn't matter how hard you get on the brakes, sometimes you're just not going to be able to miss it. But hey, either way, 3 laps in, we're going to have our first restart. Zachary Lima still leading the way, Sean Hill second, Steve Korsek in third, Gabe Butler fourth, and Jason Maines up a spot, currently rounding out your top 5.
Austin, I want to bring up 1 point. So unlimited green, white, checkered flag. That's a little bit different racing than you're typical seeing. Do you think that's going to be a big factor here late in this race if we do see a caution, with 2 to go?
Well, I certainly think it's going to play a factor. I mean, don't forget, last week we ended the dang thing under caution, of course, hoping that that doesn't happen here again tonight, and I certainly don't look to see it be that way. Unlimited green-white checkers does come in with 15 green-white checkers, so if we take more than 15, I think we got bigger issues. But taking a look here at Sarah Clamper, she sits just behind Richard Elliott, one of the JBR e-racing drivers. Boy, this has been a story of a team that's really came out here trying to make a statement. We know him from the Fast Track Sim Racing Cup Series, but Brian Watson, Joshua Watson, and Richard Elliott, they're still looking to get one of these guys in victory lane, and I think Joshua Watson might be the first to do it as he's currently running the highest. And hey, if you're looking for a good painter, why not look any farther than Heath Job? 750 Graphics does a heck of a job. Make sure you go check him out. He's got a Discord, and I believe you could probably find that link in our Ghost Racing Network Discord. But early on here, not much to talk about. Not too many storylines have formed. We got quite a few people watching out here tonight. Certainly appreciate everybody tuning in. Larry B, Julie Paul, Steve Lumpkin, Robert Miller. Looks like a bunch more. I can't even name everybody that's in here right now. Logan York. Hope you all are having a great night, and we appreciate you joining in.
And oh man, I will say this Blaster 120 Pacey Gray Racing, it's just grown and grown over the years, and this year seems like it's really exploded. Seeing the names in here, it's just big time names, and it's fun to watch this as it unfolds. Austin, I mean, Zachary Lima up top running that first place right now. Sean Hill, Steven Korsek in at 27. I got Jason D. Maines up there in 11. He's doing great. It's just fun to watch all these drivers and these trucks come out here and compete every week on a Thursday. And again, we're seeing it here tonight. And one thing I did want to bring up as well is this is a fixed setup, 100% fuel, 45 laps. We've only got 4 or 5 down right now as we go back green. The pace car lights are off, and we will go back racing here shortly. But man, the field, I keep talking about some of these names up top, but some of these names down below. We got Devin Ray in that 85. He's sitting 42nd. Ron Morris Jr. in that number 1. He's sitting 43rd. Oh, I cannot wait to see how this race unfolds at the end and see the names up top and who comes out victorious and getting that money in that number 1 spot. But don't wait there. There's the second place gets $100. Third place is going to get $100. All the way down to 7th place, you're going to get money. So if you're thinking about coming out here and competing and running this race, please do, because guess what? It's a lot of fun. You get a big paycheck at the end. Austin, what are you feeling right now as the pace car lights are off and we're going to go back green?
I'm feeling like I want to keep an eye on this guy right here. Daniel Eberhardt. Man, we talk about aggressive. Doesn't have any teammates, but that has not stopped him. Looking at the career, this most recent accomplishment, 2nd place in the Podium 500, almost got the job done, stealing it over Casey Curran. Couldn't quite, but when it comes to money racing, he's one of the best, and you better believe he's going to have himself towards the front. It's just a matter of when. Now, sometimes I always like to follow the guys that are really good on strategy. Now, you see Dylan Jones, who just sits ahead of him in that blue and black 11 truck. Those two, they used to be teammates. I'm not really sure what the relationship is anymore, but they certainly still work together. Both have the team logo on the sides of those trucks. We'll see what they can do. Further back, keep an eye on some of these other guys. Joshua McCall, I believe John Ward might have been sitting back here as well. Sure enough, the 92 truck, a couple of fast teammates. We'll see if they can make their way up. And John Ward, by the way, 2 wins. One of the highest winning drivers in the PGR series so far, so keep an eye on him. But as we get ready to go back green, Steve Korsek sitting on the apron, maybe saving a little fuel. And at 100% fuel, these guys still aren't quite in that fuel window. If we get another caution, probably anytime after lap 15 or so, just to play it safe, these guys will come down to the pits. We'll be good to go on fuel, but right now we still got a lot of racing to do. How about it? Dale Cup sits 1st, 3rd, and 4th. Sean Hill for MBG Motorsports breaking him up, sitting 2nd on the outside. Ghost Racing Network 77. Chevy Silverado. Here we go. Green flag is back in the air, looking like a pretty good jump again from both lines. Look at the long single file lines on both lanes. These guys will get a little snaky as they get up to speed here, but once they do, we'll see. I think that aggressive start, I think it's going to calm everybody down a little bit here, Jacob, on this one.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you made a good point, too. You know, even some of these guys don't have teammates. I'll tell you what, they could still come out here and get up front and make that run on the outside, inside, whatever it takes. But if you do have a team, it helps a lot, especially in these plate races at Talladega. If you have 4 or 5, 3, whatever it takes, it helps a ton, as we're seeing it unfold right now. Zachary Lima still out front. Looks like Sean Hill now, the 77 is out front right there, neck and neck. The 27, Steven Korsek, he's right there in third.
Well, the big question right now is who's going to break the 2-wide stalemate. Sure enough, it's going to be John Ellis Jr. He's going to get some help from Michael Triscaro, series owner Dustin Carruthers. Boy, he's came close to victory a couple times. We'll see what he can do here tonight. And that third line already has 4 trucks. Heath Job has joined in as well. So look for one of these 2 lanes. Now that Dale Cup has both of those lanes clogged up, wouldn't be surprised here if the 77 of Sean Hill decides to jump up top, or maybe even the 88 of Gabe Butler make Dale Cup want to throw the front row. Oh, Lima's going to get turned. Can he save it? He keeps in the outside wall. They're still trying to wreck Nash Brambilla. Does he hold on? Oh my goodness, 23's around.
Now, does the yellow flag come out, or we stay green? Looked like there was contact up top, and we got cars loose, and there is the yellow flag. We saw it on some other races where if a couple trucks get loose, maybe not a big caution, a couple of involved, it will stay green. Right there, we see a yellow. So that's going to be our second yellow of the day. I think guys are just trying to figure each other out. They want the money, big-time money tonight, big field. Big-time money,
but I gotta hope these guys can settle down a little bit. I think we're seeing a little bit too much aggression at the front for the positions that they're going for. I mean, that happened in the top 4, and it just looked like a push gone wrong. Not sure why we're pushing that aggressive this early, but before we make any comments about it, we got to go back and take a look at exactly what happens. Caution, I believe, came out for the spinning 23 of Nash Brambilla, but before this, Zachary Lima, big hit to the outside wall, but he does a heck of a job saving this thing. And let's start with the TV follow cam. I think this is probably going to give us the best view of exactly what goes wrong here. Watch this. He's getting pushed by the 77 in the corner, and the bumpers are starting to misalign. And then when Sean Hill tries to squeeze back up to get more straight on the back bumper, it just kind of hooks him. So nothing really egregious there. Just Sean Hill, I mean, pushed in the corner. That's kind of a 50-50 chance. I think this early it's a little risky, but we know with this new package you can do it. This time it doesn't work out, and it costs Zachary Lima what's going to be a fast repair as he takes a pretty big hit right there. And then after this, Nash Brambilla is going to go around. Nothing he could do.
Man, that number 4, he did a really good job staying up top and not causing a big one. But in the back there, they had a little bit of trouble. I don't think a lot of damage. Trucks just trying to avoid each other. But, wow. Second caution today. Is the nerves a little high today? Is the money too much on the line right now? Because you typically don't see this like you were talking about. I was reading it, seen another replay. Man, trucks everywhere. There's that yellow truck right there getting loose sideways in the 23. Down the track, misses him there. Could have been worse, Austin. It could have been worse.
It certainly could have. And I know it's early, but we got to stay optimistic in the sense of compared to what we have seen in the last weeks. I know we've seen 2 cautions, but in terms of trucks involved, I mean, we only have had probably 2 trucks with real damage. And the fact that both wrecks have happened up front and just about the entire field has missed it is impressive enough in itself. So let's give these guys some credit there. Take one more ride on board here with Nash Brambilla, though, through this. And he tried to hang on to it a couple times. I guess the good news is he got it down out of harm's way, but there's a little bit of a miscalculation, I guess, if you will, from Sean Hill. And he's definitely not making friends this race. He's going to have to stick close to his teammates because Zachary Lima certainly not going to be helping him too much for the rest of this thing. But Nash Brambilla comes to a stop. Again, doesn't look like he got any damage. He's going to come down, probably take 4 tires, fill it up with fuel. Now, he is going to have to work his way back up, or back to the front from the back, if you will. And this has handed your lead over to Jason Main. Sean Hill still hanging around second. His teammate Jeff Merck sits third, and his third teammate Cody Nagels in fourth. Thomas Parker, how about it, currently rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, I love to see that. One name, Jason D. Mains. He started grid 6th, and now he's in first. One name you'll see up there. That's dangerous to have him up there this early. But, man, a couple movers, too. Dustin Carthers in the 22. He started 14th and is now 10th. Other guys, Michael Triscaro in the 34 started 16th. He's now sitting 8th. So we're seeing these guys move through the pack. On the opposite end of that, Zachary Lima in the 4, he started grid 1 on the pole. Now he's sitting 38th, so he has some work to do. Like you said, those drivers in the back were doing a really good job avoiding the big one, and we're seeing it unfold right now. Talladega Superspeedway Racing, we're going to see this happen. We're still early in this race, and I can't wait to see what happens later. Man, Austin, how you feeling about this?
I'm feeling pretty good. What I was just looking at there while you were talking about it is some of the trucks have already retired from the race. Looks like Jack Colton, Carson Freeman, and Cash Culp are not in the race, even though they were planning on starting it. Jack Colton is actually the last truck, or the first truck off, and then Logan York's the last truck that's still on the track. David Sheets, he's still trying to repair his damage. Brock Westmoreland back here in 45th. And we always like to try to give some of the guys shout-outs that we don't normally see in here. So how about Seth Reeder? Down 28 from where he started, but a lot of time the 89 looked fast in practice. We'll see what he can do. We've seen Ron Morris Jr. in here before, does a good job. Ian White, one of the guys that's kind of come more consistently. But how about Jackson Byes? Up 7 from where he started, currently sitting in 29th. One of the newer drivers. We'll see what he can do here tonight. Corey Buskirk, good to see him back. Alejandro Montes Diaca. That's one of the funniest paint schemes we've seen here. In fact, let's go to the rear chase, give you a little view of it. There you go. Sponsored by Ambrose. Ambrose Cable sitting just in front of him, so no surprise there that those two are going to be working together all night. Jordan Stencel, another new driver out of Newcastle, Ontario from Canada. So how about it? Getting a little bit more international here with it. Sierra Clampert, she's up 9 spots from where she started, currently sits in 48th position. If you're looking for the Twitch channel, look no far. Live on Twitch, Sierra Races. Make sure you go check her out. Heath Job with the beautiful looking number 88 paint scheme. Ryan Baste for Clutch Gaming Team. He's got a few teammates in here tonight, and the race just before this, he was up front on the last lap. Unfortunately, did get into it with Cody Nagels. Didn't quite get the win, but he looked really fast, and I think he's got a good shot here tonight. But getting ready to go back green here, and we're only on lap 10, so I still don't think we're quite in that fuel window, Jacob Emery. And if you're a driver at this point, do you maybe try to simmer it down a little bit, or with the early cautions, do you keep trying to go to the front?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about that. So fuel's really not going to be an issue just yet. For me personally, I kind of want to be in the back. I want to feel these guys out and figure out what's going to happen. Still early on in the race. I don't think I want to be up front, and I don't want to be in the mid. I think being in the back right now is okay. And to those drivers, if they're back there, you just got to be patient. It's very easy to work your way through it. And maybe these guys are doing something like that. You got Devin Ray in the 85. He's now 47th, right in the back, and you know he can make his moves up. So we'll see. It's interesting to see, Jason D. Maines up front in the first, Sean Hill and Jeff D. Merck, all big drivers as the pace car is off, and we're going back green flag racing at Talladega on this Thursday night.
Pace car takes a hard left turn. Jason Maines on the inside now. Doesn't look like Jason has too many teammates tonight. Dylan Jones might be working with him. He sits pretty far back. And then, of course, John Ellis Jr., who sits 2 trucks behind Jason. But besides that, not the big 3 to 5 truck team that we normally see. So we'll see if he can still find his way into victory lane tonight. Sean Hill gets off to a pretty good jump. His teammate Cody Nagels is going to follow. But you can see that inside line is a lot more organized than the outside is. And that's going to be key here to which lane gets the advantage down the backstretch through 1 and 2, though. How about the 51? Thomas Parker continues to impress. Jeff Merck trying to push Jason Maines out in front. Sean Hill getting a little side draft. Big run coming this time down the backstretch for Sean Hill.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. If you work together, it actually works, as the inside lane was working well, and now you're seeing that outside lane make a push. So it's a little bit of give and take. But here comes on turn 3 as they drop down. Looks like they know where they want to be. It's that inside lane. Can that work well for them? Looks like they're tight. Are they going to go 3 wide? Not sure just yet, as we're seeing the 77 up front. And now the 6.
I got to be honest with you, Jacob. First of all, I'm surprised we didn't see 3 wide, but maybe more surprising than that was the move. When we saw those 2 trucks on the outside jump down low, Jason Maines is going to jump to the inside. We've seen with this new package, it more prefers to be in the middle or up top. But I think this early in the race, with the amount of cautions we've seen, I like the idea of getting to the bottom, giving yourself a little bit more of an opportunity to get out of Dodge if, wreck were to occur. But Michael Triscaro, not fearing anything. He's looking at 3 wide. You can tell he wants it. And I think that's a good move. Heath Job's certainly going to follow him. And then I think Mike Davenport, the 55, another Team PGR driver, he'd stick with his teammate. We'll see what they do. But still 2 by 2 here as we enter 3 on the second lap back from the restart.
Yeah, it is interesting to see that we haven't seen a 3 wide yet, but we've had early cautions, and I think these guys don't want to take their fast repair just yet. They're going to be cautious now. As I say that, we might look at a 3 wide as they're trying to make a lane up top. Not there just yet. The 17 is trying to make a way. We got 2 trucks in the middle. Are they going to lose it? Looks like they might. 17 outside, big push. That inside lane is still working. Cody Nagels, Jason Maines, and John Ellis for the 1, 2, and 3 spot, as the outside lane is now picking up some steam.
Yeah, this middle lane's really going to need some help, and they're going to get it from Jeff Merck. He's going to go ahead and bail on his teammate Sean Hill to help his other teammate Cody Nagels. I'm impressed, first of all, those 2 trucks hung in the middle as long as they did. Normally we see guys going straight to the back unless you have 3 or more, but they were able to stick up there just long enough, and it's going to work out as Cody Nagels now drops to the bottom. That's going to give John Ellis Jr. a breath of fresh air to the front grille of the 8 machine as he now leads the middle line. And how about up top, one of the newer drivers, Trevor Oswornoff, leading the top here at Talladega. He's got a push from Michael Triscaro. A lot of popping and weaving though going on right now. Can these guys hold it together?
That side-by-side racing is out the window. We are 3 wide, full pack, and this is typically what you see on a Thursday night racing here for the Blaster. I cannot wait to see how this goes. I'll tell you what, if you're in the middle of that pack, you're holding on as we see one truck pop up. He's trying to make a move on the outside.
Ooh, little stack
Man,
up
that's
there.
tight right there. Yes,
Man.
sir.
But they're going to keep it together as I saw a couple trucks try to bob and weave through the field a little bit. Sierra Clamper was one of them, and we had another driver, I believe it was Brent Garber. Sure enough, it was. He was trying to poke his way through the field on the inside line, and now he has made it up to this lead pack. And you know, this is where we start to see that split strategy. We see it every week, and it's that mix of which trucks want to try to stay at the front or go for track position the whole race. And then you got the guys that are kind of hanging back here. They're expecting another big wreck or two, and they're going to hope that they miss it, kind of flip the track positions for themselves, and then they'll try to hold it the rest of the way. Now, we did have a message earlier that asked if there was any blind squirrels racing tonight. Well, we have one, and currently he's running inside the top 5, and he's your biggest mover. Ambrose Knievel, the fan favorite out of Gold Bar, Washington for Blind Squirrel Racing. He sits in 5th position, up 37 spots from where he started here tonight. Oh, a lot of contact. This isn't going to end well. We're going to wreck. The 17-round Joshua Watson not going to miss him this time. Oh, man, Jacob, they're everywhere at this point.
Inside there, off the racetrack, was big contact into the wall. Smoke is up in the air, but not too many trucks were involved that bad. So again, another caution, but they're doing a good job avoiding the big one as we saw a truck spin right in front of the pack. But man, oh man.
Well, we had a chance at green flag stop tonight. You might as well go ahead and throw it out the window now because this is going to put everybody in the fuel window. Let's take a look at where this is going to... Oh, this starts way up, actually. We saw, you know, right here when you saw the 17 come down, you just get a little nervous. It just had kind of a bad look to it. That's Trevor Oswornoff. Let's see if we can get... Take a look from the chopper view. I always like this view because it usually shows you kind of where it starts. Second truck on the 3rd lane up. Pushing Jeff Merck. Does he get a little tap here or does he just get a little loose? Ooh, I tell you what happens here, Jacob, and I get this all the time. It's pretty common incident that we talked about. I like to call it the tunnel vision that you kind of get as a driver. Well, you know, Jeff Merck, he makes the move here. It's pretty quick, but it's not as quick as it could be, right? And if you're the 17 and you're right up against the bumper, sometimes you really can't tell that he's actually making the move. So you're just following, thinking you're pushing, and unfortunately in this case, you're following him right down into the driver that's to your inside. In this case, it's the 8 of John Ellis Jr. Once he hits him, John Ellis Jr. does a heck of a job saving it, but unfortunately gets into Michael Triscaro. And then the 17 going for a spin. Joshua Watson with nowhere to go. And, of course, Richard Elliott's going to get involved too, Joshua Watson's teammate. There's Jeremy Osborne. He takes a pretty big lick off the inside wall as well.
Yeah, when you're in that position and your truck starts to fade a little bit, even if it's in the middle or right side, it's like a magnet. It's like your steering wheel cannot move. You're just sucked into it, and then you're turning. You're in sideways. So it happens. You don't like to see it at the front of the pack because it causes a big one. But man, we're seeing it here right now as he got turned just a little bit. No net code, I don't think. It's just a little bit of contact, Austin.
Yeah, and right here, watch his hands. You see he's following him. And now he finally realizes it, but it's just a little too late as the contact's made there. And you see John Ellis Jr. sideways back up the track. And I definitely would just mark that one down as a racing deal. Nothing anybody did wrong and nothing anybody can do about it now. A couple trucks with pretty heavy damage. Looks like the other one got some front-end damage. I think Jeremy Osborne gets the worst of it here. He takes that pretty hard shot to the inside wall. But this time, no front bumpers torn off. Joshua McCall goes for a little bit of a spin in that as well. But how about we go back live and up front where Zachary Lima, boy, it didn't take him long to recover. We were just talking about the wreck he was in. And now he finds himself leading the field, currently sits in 2nd place. William H. Scott is being scored as the current leader. Now, we could still see a pit stop from these guys, but one of the drivers without teammates, William H. Scott, doing a heck of a job here tonight. Up 44 positions right now from where he started. We talked about Zachary Lima sitting in 2nd. Steve Korsak 3rd. It's going to be Jason Maines in 4th. Jeff Merck rounding out your top 5. And let's go back a little farther. Cody Nagel 6th. Sean Hill 7th. Corey Buskirk, another big mover, up 35 from where he started. He sits 8th. William Fox 9th. And it looks like Alejandro Mates Diaca, actually Heath Job rather, currently rounding out your top 10.
Man, that 14, that's a name, and you say it perfectly. That's impressive, and I'll give you credit as a broadcaster. Saying names properly, it means a lot, and you're doing a great job there. But regardless of that, man, we got Ambrose in the 04. Looks like it was started at 42nd, is now in 27th, trying to make some moves through the pack. But we have the complete opposite. We got Nash in the 23, started 9th, and now sitting 28th. So different stories playing out right there, as you can see it. But like you were talking about at Austin, William in that 36 was in 45th position, is now in 3rd. As I see on my ticker, that might be a little off, but man, that is quite something. That's a feat here at Talladega. I don't care if you're starting from the back of the pack in the 44th, 5th, and now sitting 3rd. That is great. And I just want to tell you, Austin, I just want to say, hey, thanks for having me be here, man. This has been a privilege to be here for the Ghost Racing Network and the PGR Racing for the Blaster 120. It's a lot of fun to be up in here in the booth with you tonight.
The pleasure's all on this side of the booth because, hey, we check out your broadcasts over on a couple different channels that you've done it for. I believe, is it Wheels of America that you're with for the most part?
So last year was Wheels of America. This year we've got Race Spot Live. And check us out. We've got a new broadcast going. We've got a league starting on Tuesdays, and it's been there's been a lot of excitement for season 5. So if you do want to check us out, check out that on YouTube, and we'll be there every Tuesday night live at 9 o'clock.
And you do a heck of a job. That's why, of course, we brought you in here tonight. Hey, before we get back green, I want to see if we can get a quick word here with one of the guys that's really impressed me so far here tonight, and that's Heath Joe. Hey, Heath, this is Austin and Jacob up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How are you?
Good. Well, we know you can make killer paint schemes, but tonight you're making killer fast times out on the track. Going to be rounding out the top 10 here. What's the game plan from this point on?
Actually, right now the game plan is just to survive. You can see most of the stuff is happening up in the front, so it may not be advantageous at this moment to be up there.
Well, certainly, but with the amount of cautions we've seen, you got to wonder if we start getting a streak of late cautions. If you're sitting too far back, track position is so hard to gain, but how important is it to use your teammates in getting up to the front at a race like this?
Having teammates, not just 1 or 2, but 3 or 4 is the absolute key to being successful in these races. You're not going to get anywhere without them.
All right. Hey, sounds good. Good luck the rest of the way. We're not quite halfway. You still got a lot of work under you, but we'll see if we're talking to you at the end of this thing.
Right on, man. Appreciate you. Great job up there. Thank you, guys.
Hey, real quick, Austin. I got to make a correction. I did the race spot. It's race day live. I do apologize. It's our first season doing it, but I just got to put that in there real quick. I did say race spot. It is race day live. Check us out. Austin, take us away. We're going back green. The pace car is off the track.
Well, the 2 Dale Cup teammates, almost like it was meant to be. They found each other again. William Scott, though, keep an eye, one of your biggest movers. Doesn't have any teammates, though. We'll see if they try to force him out of line. Maybe shove him down to the bottom of the middle. Jeff Merck in the 60, Sean Hill in the 77. What can they do? And Jason Maines, he's kind of trapped right now between a couple of the big teams. We'll see what he's got. Off the green flag, though, down to the bottom goes Steve Korsak. He's going to get lined up right away with Zachary Lima. And we'll see if we can really get settled in and tick off some laps. You know, it seems like if guys can get in that position where they can get the 3 wide going kind of naturally and maybe get it going for a couple laps, things simmer down, but we just haven't seen that yet so far. There's been a lot of pushing and shoving. We'll see how long it takes before we get right back to it here.
Yeah, and for the drivers up front, like Zachary, he's just gotten up front, but drivers like Jason D. Maines and Steven in that 27, it kind of can be frustrating if you continue to get those yellow flags and not green flag racing because you can't get in the groove. Now, we just had a few last time around as they went 3 wide. Let's see if they can do it again as we got side-by-side driving right now, and it looks pretty clean as the outside lane may progress here in the back there. It looks like the number 27. Excuse me, I think that's the number 77, Sean Hill.
Oh, and he squeezed him. Oh, that's another wreck. We're going to bring out the caution again. No caution yet. We stay green, but how long can this go? We got 2 trucks and a fence almost stopped. And everybody's slowing down, and now we're going to wreck again. Oh, man. Mark Vondell, Jeremy Osborne, Chad Ross, still no caution. Not sure what's going on, but this is just causing more and more issues. Daniel Eberhard has stopped down at 1 and 2. We still don't have a caution.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep it green here. Not sure. No caution yet. The guys are chattering, figuring out what's going on as the 60 on the outside to make a run. up front, as you're seeing 2 trucks there in the back.
Oh, and Eberhardt's going to show his displeasure of there being no caution yet. He's going to go ahead and try to bring one out himself here, it looks like. And sure enough, he's just going to park in the middle of the track here. Not a good idea. Definitely not going to please track officials. We'll see if he gets that thing back going here before the field catches up. Still no caution. I believed it was on iRacing cautions tonight, but I could be wrong here. Now, we got a lot to break down about this one here. So we're going to go ahead and hold on to that thought for just a second and check back out up front how we're looking. But yeah, you can see the packs coming up on Eberhardt. They're still pretty tight pack, but it's definitely split into 2 now.
Yeah, and you're seeing these trucks now about to get lapped, so they're going to go 1 lap down. If they don't have any damage, they're going to stay out. But if they got damage, they got to go in and fix that. As if you get too far lap down, you do have a fast repair and a lucky dog. But if it stays green, so we got a big wreck again up front. 2 trucks involved, and we're still green, Austin.
Man, I don't know what's going on tonight, but this is kind of getting embarrassing here. Not sure what these guys are doing or what the cautions are doing, but
there's
man,
the caution out.
Finally, after what was it, a lap and a half of chaos, these guys are going to get a breather. And all right, well, we got a lot to break down, so we might as well just get started with it right away. Let's go back to the first incident that we saw here, and this looks like the 5. This is one of the Clutch Gaming Team drivers. I believe this might have been Fox. Sure enough, it was William Fox. It looks like he's just going to kind of squeeze Eberhard here on this one. Watch, let's back this up. Go to the chopper view yet again. And watch as you see at this point, Eberhardt's kind of committed. He says, all right, I don't want to work with you. I'm going to take you high. And Eberhardt's got the lanes, doing a good job keeping it off of him here. It's clean here, but the 5 just drifts up, just runs him out of room and doesn't really get off of him. Eventually, William Fox kind of gets turned around, and then they're going to wreck a couple more from this. And these 2 stayed in the wall for about half the turn. Still no caution right now. And you're going to see Eberhardt coming down the track here. And then I think further back, so we're going to have some more contact. Sure enough, Mark Vondell, I think, got tagged by Jeremy Osborne. So there was no caution at this point. Eberhardt pulls back on the track looking for one. Doesn't get one. Has a little more incident down on the backstretch. And then this is what actually does finally bring out the caution here. Ooh, and Zachary Lima, again, just, you know, it's really odd. These trucks have been very comfortable pushing, and that is rare to see someone like Zachary Lima get that wobbly on the straightaway. I'm not sure if Jeff Merck just wasn't pushing him in a comfortable manner, but you see this is coming out of the tri-oval here, and it looks like maybe gets him a little offset to the left. Ooh, and that's going to be what does it. Jeff Merck gets really to the right and just hooks him, actually. So it wasn't so much a push as it was kind of a hook from Jeff Merck, and then Lima's trying to save it, gets just slightly behind on his steering, down into Jason Maines, and then it's on from there.
Yeah, you know, you see a lot of this in the Xfinity cars because they're a big challenge. The trucks have made an update. It seems like the drivers have liked the update, but tonight, not sure what's going on. Maybe it's nerves. I know these drivers have been doing this for a long time for the money racing here at PGR, but who knows what their mindset is. But we are only 22 laps down at the moment under this caution. Now, I will say this. I don't think this will happen, but it could happen. What happens if the time runs out on the iRacing race? That is a thing that I've seen in the past. Tonight, I don't think that could happen, but there is a chance that it may always.
Well, that was a good question, but I got to say, I hope the answer is that hopefully we don't have to find out. But I think Daniel Eberhardt might be a little heated after that, so let's bring him in and see what his take was on the contact and the caution that followed. Hey, Daniel, this is Austin Jacob in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man.
Well, we just saw what was somehow not a caution for as long as it was, but before we break down the caution part, talk about the contact that ensued before that. It looked like maybe you were trying to make a 3-wide move, and what happened?
I have no clue. As good as well as anything, man. I mean, I can understand trying to come up in front of me, but it wasn't coming up in front of me. It was coming up into my truck. I mean, that's all that was, but you got to pay attention.
I was going to say, somehow, although the caution didn't fly there, it was able to fly, so you do catch a break anyway. You're sitting on pit road now, but when you get back in this thing, do you go to the front from here with the amount of cautions we've seen? Do you maybe sit back for a little bit, wait for another wreck?
Oh, heck yeah, dude. There ain't no mercy on anybody in front of me, just the way these people are acting, and no mercy.
All right, well, hey, thanks for talking to us. Quite the statement. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see you back in victory lane by the end of this thing.
man. I'll tell you what, Austin, that's one driver that if he's not causing, but if he's in some damage early, if he's sitting in the back, he can make his way through the pack. He knows what he's doing out there. He can go on the inside, middle, outside, and I think you'll see him in the top 10 before this thing's done. But right now, do we have more drivers maybe going into the pits to fix some things? Not sure. Is fuel going to be a factor, Austin, as we're at lap 23? We've had a few cautions, but do you think at the end of the race we're going to have any fuel issues?
I don't think we are at this point. I think with the amount of cautions we've had, if it was, even within 5 laps of running out for anybody, they're going to be able to save what they need for plenty of overtimes, unless we're planning on using 14 of the 15 or something. I think everybody's going to be plenty good to go, but at this point, the biggest thing is just it's going to be track position. Daniel Eberhardt, he made it clear that, the way it's been tonight, no mercy. I think that's kind of the way a lot of these guys feel. It's just go to the front, and if it's not your teammate, you might as well just try to go around them, and even that's been hard to do tonight. We've just seen a lot of contact, a lot of guys not really giving and taking any. Sometimes I wonder if that's a factor of, these shorter races, but at the same time, the race is long enough for a green flag stop, and I think if we could get a race where we could get to that green flag stop, it could certainly make things interesting and shake it up a little bit, but not looking like we're going to have it tonight, and we're getting ready to go back green, and I think they're going to get just as wild as they were before.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about everything tonight, too, is Jack Colton in that 50. He's the only one laps down. He's 17 laps down right now. Everybody else on the lead lap as the pace car is on the back straight with his lights off, and we're going to go back green flag racing. It looks like Steven Korsek in the 27 and Jeff D. Merck, the 1 and 2 spot. Cody Neagle's in that 6 as well. He's 3rd. He started grid 10th. Another guy in that 14. Look at him. Started 34th, is now sitting 4th. So a lot of moving, a lot of things changing right now. 24 laps down. We're going to start here shortly as the pace car will come off, and I cannot wait again as we go back green. Hopefully we can stay green. Austin, take us away right now, because we're at Talladega and it's a super speedway, baby.
And I think you described just before that kind of the way the cautions have been perfectly. They've almost been sloppy cautions in the sense of at a super speedway, you kind of assume when we're going to wreck it big and pile up the whole field, but hasn't been the case for most of tonight. We've only seen maybe a truck or two get damaged in each wreck. And because of that, we still got just about all the trucks still running in this thing. 50 still on the lead lap, so doing a heck of a job. Or excuse me, over 45 still on the lead lap, so still doing a heck of a job there. And Alejandro Montes de Oca, talk about doing a heck of a job, but 31 from where he started. Man, he's looking really good here, but he doesn't have any teammates. Look to see him maybe work with the 73 of Ryan Bass, who was fast in the previous race, fast so far here tonight. In the 88 of Heath Job, he's also got a teammate behind him. Actually, I see a couple of the Blaster PGR teammates up there. We'll see what they can do. Here we go, 21 laps to go at Talladega. Green flag is back in the air. Steve Korsek's going to waste no time. He jumps right down to the bottom, and that might have been part of the thing. He may not feel too comfortable with that 14 pushing him. He doesn't want to waste any time, and we got a 4-truck tandem already staging up on the bottom. Now Steve Korsek's a sit and duck. Watch what we're going to see right here. Jacob Emery, 60's going to jump high. Cody Nagels is going to follow him. I think it's just a matter of time, and there they go. Steve Korsek, actually all 3 of them go, and he is about to get his doors blown off down the backstretch.
Man, Steve got left in the dust there on the outside lane, is taken away. Now he's going to sit there about 4th or 5th position. He made a move early. He came down, and it was close, but didn't work out. But he's still in the pack, still top 10. That's where you want to be in a race like this, because anything can happen. Now, you're talking about the number 14. He doesn't have any teammates, but a driver like that, if they know you're a good driver out here doing what you can do, and you're consistent and you're clean, I'll tell you what, they'll work with you and they'll push you as much as they will push you.
Oh, we got another wreck further back. Can they save it?
Wrecks.
Oh, not going to save it this time. Looks like Eberhardt's going to be in it again. The 1 of Jason Maines gets involved. I think Zachary Lima sneaks by further back. Ken McCall Jr. is in it. Jeremy Osborne, Nash Brambilla in the grass. So is the 38 of Christopher Hodges. Man, it's turning into one of those nights. Not much to say about it. Now, before we go back and break down this caution, I want to talk about that move that we saw with Steve Korsek. Him jumping down as soon as he did, he was really trying to hold off any momentum because he had 3 teammates that were going to be lined up behind him on the bottom. Not his teammates, of course, but NBG Motorsports. So he was hoping that the outside line would get a run going before they all 3 had a chance to make the move. Unfortunately, the outside just couldn't find any momentum by the backstretch, and saw what happened there is my internet had a little bit of a glitch there. I do apologize for that. Let's go back, take a look, though, at what is going to be your 5th caution of the night already here in 45 laps. And See if this is going to be another bit of too much aggression. This almost looked like a little bit of a checkup. In fact, it really looks like a checkup from that view. There we go. It looks like Ken McCall Jr. is actually the first one to get in. So let's go back to him. He did get spun.
Yeah, you can see it right there. A little bit of checkup.
Sure enough.
That's tough.
Oh, yeah, there it is up front. And you see all the fire out of the pipes. And eventually someone's just not going to get the memo. Looks like maybe David Sheets, Ken McCall Jr.'s teammate, just taps him. But that's all it takes. And initially I thought they were going to save it. Oh, there's Sierra Clamper. Does she get too much damage from this? Looks like she's light contact. Doesn't look too bad from that view. And she's going to sneak around after that. Man, she's been caught up in one of these wrecks, not of her causing. I think just about every race. She's got to be due to catch a break here sooner or later. But looking at this wreck, you see Daniel Eberhardt going to get involved. Oh, and then Jeremy Osborne coming along. Couldn't quite get it slowed up in time. He tags the 03 just to add insult to injury. Man.
Yeah. Pretty wild. And speaking about big names, if big name drivers, but big Twitch names, Sierra, go check her out on Twitch. We'll put a link in there. She's a great time. She's a lot of fun. It seems like everybody has a positive attitude in her Twitch. Go check her out. But man, hopefully she doesn't have too much damage. She can stay out here because, like you said, she's been caught up in some wrecks the past few weeks. But we'll see what happens here. Hopefully she has a fast repair and she can get back out there.
Well, let's go take a ride on board to see just how bad the damage looks here. She kind of tapped the back and asked for a bill, but they were still running it. Oh, man, she does a pretty good job, actually. I didn't hear any major contact. And let's back this up a little farther, see if the hood looks crumpled from it. It almost doesn't look like it was too bad, really. Back this up a little farther. Yeah, the hood doesn't even get crumpled from it.
Yeah, she was super patient. Just stayed with it. Didn't go left or right. Just kind of stuck through it and got through. Good job by her. And looks like it's pretty clean, Austin. She's got a truck still.
Yeah, she does. And she may not even have to use a fast repair. But, you know, we've had more caution laps so far tonight than we have green flag laps. These guys are going to have to find a way to turn it around. You know, I don't know if it's some bad luck charm. Baker was going to be doing race control here tonight. I think BB is volunteering. Of course, not putting any of what's happened tonight on race control, just saying superstition reasons. But at the front, you know, we had wrecks early. They were in the front. The wrecks late have been towards the back, everything in between. But it's going to be probably about a 16 to go restart here. Cody Nagel's going to be leading them back to it. Jeff Merck, his teammate, second. How about all three NBG Motorsports? 1, 2, 3. Sean Hill, third. Steve Korsek, fourth. Alejandro Montes de Oca. He has really been having a good night. I know we keep bringing him up, but I think people take for granted just how impressive it is for a driver that really doesn't have any team and is as new as this guy is to come out here and do this. And this isn't just a fluke. We've seen this the last couple weeks, and he's doing it again here tonight. John Ward, 6th. Ryan Bay, 7th. He's also having a heck of a run. Dustin Carruthers, he's one of those ones that just gets better and better each race, looking for his first win. Mike Davenport in 9th. Team PGR consistently top 10, and Heath Job running extra top 10. And there he is, Dylan Jones. We always refer to him as the Kevin Harvick of the iRacing world. Where does he come from? We saw him in the back last time we checked. Didn't really talk about him since, and here he is in 11th, up 27 from where he started. No surprise to see him back towards the front by the end of this thing.
Yeah, and let's not forget, guys, these drivers are out here for money. So first place is going to be about $200. It might be more with this field that we've got tonight. Second place, $100. Third place, $100. All the way down to 7th place gets $20. So that's your money back. It's $16 to enter this race. It's a fantastic time. PGR Racing, 120 Blaster, big time money racing tonight on a Thursday, every Thursday. Come check it out. Austin with the Ghost Racing Network. It's a fun time. We've got a lot of viewership. It's been really fantastic. Other than the cautions, it's been a great race. We got 29 laps down. We got to go to the 45 mark. I think they'll start cleaning it up, and I think by the time we get to 5 to go, we are going to see some fantastic drivers out here in these trucks trying to figure out who's going to win and get the money tonight.
Can't forget about the wheel spin, though, for the guys that aren't in the payout positions. Somebody's going to get a chance to win their money back here tonight. We'll see what happens on that.
The wheel spin's kind of new to me, Austin. I didn't know the wheel spin. That's news to me. Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, so basically what it is, you know, let's say we have, and I believe it's top 7 here tonight. Could be wrong, have to double check on it. But whatever payout positions we have, let's say it's top 7. There's going to be a position after. So let's say, we'll say 8th through 50th position tonight is how it would work. Actually, in this case, it'd be 8 through 56, and it's kind of more detailed. But let's stick to the simple version of it. 8th through 50th place. So we're going to spin that wheel, whatever number it lands on. Whoever finished in that position is going to get their money back. So definitely interesting there. Now, a couple quick announcements, but I think we're going to go ahead and save them in case we get another caution. Of course, next place we head here on Ghost Racing Network is going to be over to FEG PC Money Racing. Double header. Well, I guess not really a double header. We have a broadcast for them tomorrow night. 10:30, big money racing, over $1,000 going to be on the line, top 5 payout. And then Saturday, we head right on back for a $500 payout, top 4 or 5 for that one as well. Make sure you don't miss out. Hey, even if you're just stopping by to say hi, certainly always appreciate the company and hope you guys do as well. Pace car's going to pull off. Cody Nagels, Jeff Merck, Sean Hill, they're going to try to lead this thing the rest of the way. And Jacob, I would not be surprised this time if we see those 3 trucks try to get fanned out 3 wide. If that 3rd lane gets going, have all 3 lanes clogged up. Take us back to green.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see some 3-wide racing early on as this race gets back to the end. As we out of green flag right now, Cody Nagels in the number 6 on the bottom line. See if he can make a move. That outside lane has done pretty well. Is Sean Ward in the 92 going to fan out and get 3 wide? Not sure yet, as the teammates are working together side by side as it sits as we go into turn 2 on the backstretch.
Down the backstretch, a lot of shuffling, dicing around for position. That 3rd lane is really trying to get formed up quick this time. Would not be too surprised. In fact, it looks like Daniel Eberhard is already trying to get his way back to the front. Problem is he's going to need some help to get it, and he hasn't got any so far. John Ward in the 92, wouldn't be surprised to see him take it 3 wide either. Dustin Carruthers, Heath Job. The inside is a lot more of teammates organized, where the outside we got a lot of rookies and mixed bags of who is going to work with who here, as we're going to be coming to 15 laps to go. Desperation starting to set in. Jeff Merck's going to drop back down low. Not sure if that was by choice or if Steve Korsek kind of forced him down, but Korsek is now back up top leading the way.
31 to go. Steve up front at 27. Jeff's going to be right there. He's going to be someone you've got to work with. John Ward, Cody Nagels, top 4, and Sean Hill. Don't forget about that 77 as they battle. A lot of contact, little bit of close racing up front. Are they going to go side by side here just now? 31 to go. Not much time left in this race at Talladega.
Man, that was really, really close for a second. You saw coming out of turn 2, Cody Nagels gave his teammate just a little bit of an offset shove, and Jeff Merck almost went around, heads up driving by Cody Nagels to back off. But that tells me that the trucks, they just have not been handling tonight, and I'm not sure why. Weather outside has been fine. You know, tires aren't an issue at a track like Talladega, but it's been giving quite a few of these guys a struggle, and that has been more than, I guess what would be the word, more than obvious all night, if you will. But we have 2 packs now that are kind of split, and I'm surprised to see this late in the going. And that second pack being led by William Fox, they're going to have to get it together and start making their way to the front soon. But even they got a little 3-wide action going back here. Brian Watson's trying to get back, linked up with his teammates. And Daniel Eberhard has found himself back here. I think these guys are all hoping for a big wreck. And in fact, we have a 3rd pack going on. And as we're going to be coming to 13 laps to go next time, I don't think they have enough time from where they sit, Jacob.
Yeah, you don't.
Oh,
we got
wreck.
2 trucks in the grass. Stay down. Are they going to come back up? Stay down.
Oh, we got
And
a
they're
big
still
hit out
getting
back.
sideways in the back.
Ooh, so heck of a save up front. Man, Chad Ross is destroyed. Front end of
there's
that
a
thing in
caution.
the grandstands, I would assume. My
Man,
goodness.
is he on his hood? Did he flip over?
Yeah, might have. Look at the damage to the front end. Holy moly. Smoking, that's going to be a fast pair for sure, assuming he's got one left. I'm surprised it even drives still, but that looked like a heck of a save up front. Unfortunately, not so much out back. Let's go back, take a look. Caution's already happened at this point. This is going to start further up front, and it's been really, really odd, the amount of issues we have had up front today. So let's go up there to see where it starts, and we'll come back here to see where it's going to finish. But
Looks
going
like
up
also
here,
just a bad push in a corner, maybe. Let's take another look. I could be wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's kind of been the moral of the story for most of the night here. Oh, Sean Hill's drifting high. He's drifting high. Oh, that's... You know what, Jacob, I'll tell you, that's more of an awkward circumstance than you will, and that's one that's kind of hard to blame. These two both had the same mindset at the exact split second. This is just chance. Watch this. At just about the same time here, John Ward is going to say to himself, I'm clear, Cody Nagels, let me drop down. And at the same time, Sean Hill's saying, I'm clear, my teammate, let me go up. And they both make that move at the same time. And they just kind of come together. Now, they both do a heck of a job holding on to it. I'm not sure how Sean Hill doesn't come back up into traffic, but somehow, some way he doesn't. Further back,
they
on the
did
other
a
hand, they're
great
not going to
job
get so lucky.
saving that.
Yeah, you're right.
No,
but
and I was looking farther in the back there also. I didn't see the front, and you know that's just a racing incident. Unfortunate times with 33 laps down. But man, unfortunate for those guys. They did a great job saving it. You're right.
Now back here on the other hand, it's so hard at a super speedway with this many trucks. When one goes around, it's just too hard for everybody to save it in. Looking like everybody's trying to check up. Unfortunately, somebody couldn't quite get the memo in time. Gabe Butler was pretty close to the back bumper of Jason Maines, it looks like, and he just couldn't quite check up in time. That's going to get him down into the 10. I believe that's Brock, and then gets turned back up into Chad Ross. Watch this hit, Jacob. Boom. Just destroys the front end. Somehow stays on all four. Oh, he's going to get tagged again here, isn't he? Yep, sure enough. Joshua Watson. Boy, been a rough night for him as well. Just nowhere to go on that one.
Now hitting the wall like that, even if you do have a fast repair, you still got to get towed back to the pits. Sometimes that tow can take forever, and if that does happen, it can cost you a lap down. So hopefully he can get there quick enough. But man, you don't recover from a hit like that in the front end of that truck. That thing was destroyed.
Certainly was. Take a couple more views of it there, and he was trying to sneak through it. Joshua Watson almost got through it as his teammate split high, but just couldn't quite do it. Let's take an onboard view of this from Chad Ross's point of view. This is going to be pretty wild. Take a look and take a listen. Let's back this up a little bit more, I guess. Sliding through the grass, too, and he ended up having a little while, too, before he could get it back to the pits. He may have even had a tow. Oh, man, he was doing such a job, too. He almost had checked up in time to miss it, and it looked like he had scrubbed off quite a bit of speed, and to still take that big of a hit is definitely something you don't see too often, and he's on pit road, still destroyed, so you got to wonder he may not have a fast repair left. Up front, though, Steve Korsek leading the way. Go ahead, Jacob.
Just going to say I hope he does, because if he doesn't, that's his day. That's going to be the end of his day, as we have now Chad Ross one lap down. He's in that 28. And in the number 78, J.R. Miller, he's going to be one lap down. And then Jack Colton in that 50, he was 27. So now 3 trucks off the lead lap, and there may be more as this pace car goes by as we go back to green. Unfortunate circumstances, 34 laps down. This race is actually coming to an end here shortly, I should say. Steve Korsek in the 27th out front. Number 6, Cody Niegels. He's in second. John Ellis Jr. at 21, he's in third. Ryan Bass in 73, he's in fourth. And Michael Chescaro at 34, he's going to be the top 5 guy here. Let's see what these drivers can do, as there's a big movement in the field as well. William H. Scott Jr. in that 36. He started 45th, is now sitting 9th. So he's in the right position at the right time when you are plate racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. He's thinking about the money right now. You know that's true. And I can't wait to see what he can do. I think he's in a perfect spot. That number 36, William, let's see what he can do out here with these big-time names. But, man, short amount of time left here, Austin. What are your thoughts? Where do you want to be? Obviously in the front, but do you want to be in the mid-pack, or do you think there's going to be another big one?
I think at this point in the race, you got a chance of winning it just from about wherever you start. I mean, hey, we've seen crazy things happen on last laps. If the whole field piles up, you never know. We could see someone from mid-pack on back somehow split their way through it, like the scene out of the Cars movie or something, jumping through the air and might find their way to victory lane. But before we go back green, let's pull in Cody Niegels for a quick word. I want his view on some of the crazy stuff we've seen tonight and how the truck's handling.
Absolutely.
Hey, Cody, this is Austin and Jacob up in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yeah. What's up, fellas?
What's up? So first of all, crazy race so far. Now, we saw you pushing your teammate Jeff Merck a little bit, and you two didn't look like you were linking up that well. What's going on tonight?
I don't know. I was probably just trying to push him too hard, just pushing the truck to its limit. I'm going to take a little bit of responsibility for it. It's all right. I had to back off, and then I got a little bump from Alex, so we were all able to stay connected with each other. But it might be a compatibility issue. Who knows?
Well, one win here so far in the PGR Series. Before you go green, how do you get it done here? Steve Korsek, one of your rivals, sits to your inside, leading the way. How are you going to get past him?
Hopefully I get the help at the right time, I think.
All right, thanks for talking to us. Good luck. Short way to go. We'll see if you can win this thing.
Thank you.
Well, Austin, the pace car is off. Steve Korsek's going to take us away on the inside lane in that 27. Cody Niegels in the 6. We just spoke with him. He's on the outside in second. John Ellis Jr., Ryan Bass, 73, and Alondro in that 14th now is in 5th. Man, oh man, the green flag is going to come out, and we are going to be 36 laps down as they cross the finish line. This is for big money, $200 on the line for the winner, as the number 27 gets a big jump on the inside going into 1.
Yeah, but you can see, Jacob, that inside, they only have 2 trucks lined up. That outside, I think they're really going to get some momentum going. Michael Triscaro's got a little damage on the left side. We'll see if that affects him at all. Here comes Sean Hill, wasted no time on the top. And how about who he's got behind him for Blind Squirrel Racing? Looks like Ambrose Knievel. He wants a piece of the action and the money here tonight, but they're going to fan out 3 wide up front. Michael Triscaro still looking for a win here in the big race for his own series. Couple more trucks jumped up top. It's not going to work, and we're going to wreck again.
Man, and that is one of the bigger wrecks we've had all night, and that takes out the middle of the pack. We've talked about it earlier. Where do you want to be right now in this race? And I don't know, the front, the middle, or the back. I am not sure. As another caution unfolds, we're only going to have about 5 to go, if that, when we go back to green flag racing. Number 27, Steven, is still up front, but man, in the back, what are you going to say about that, Austin?
I don't know what to say anymore. I mean, it's just, we're running out of things here. Let's take another look at it. You know, we always try to have a little, I guess, what would be the word for it? Chatter, commentary, whatever you want to call it here, to fill in the gaps for when we have stuff like this. But I've ran out of it for tonight. And, you know, Shane Posey says these guys can't drive. The way it's looked tonight, it would certainly look that way. Usually a lot better than this, but it's just, you know, Jacob, I think the problem is tonight there's just way too much no give and take. I mean, I know everybody out here wants to win the big money, but you can't just forget how to race to take all the money. And we've seen quite a bit of that here tonight. And let's see what's going to happen on this one here. Looks okay here. Looks like a block in front of the 77. No issues there. And then Sean Hill kind of runs into the back of him and then goes down, and kind of an odd look. Not sure what the 77 exactly had going on there, but turns right down into 83, and they're just going to start piling up from there.
Yeah, nowhere to go for that back of that pack, even if you put on the brakes. I mean, man, oh man, look at all the trucks involved there. That's going to be a situation where fast repairs are going to be key. If you're late in this race, if you do not have one, that is going to end your race. If you have low RPMs, you cannot keep up with the front of the pack. But I will say this, man, as he's looking on board here, just got caught up and goes for a spin, and it gets hit again, man.
Yeah, I mean,
unbelievable.
You know, love the guy. You know, he's a great racer, one of the best out here. But Sean Hill, he's really had a rough night tonight. Not sure if it's just, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, this one was, I feel like maybe just a little too much aggression again. The 71 didn't make a late block by any means. He has a chance here to either square him up or even check up, but instead he kind of gives him this weird bump and then just kind of goes down and start to clean up from there. Man, it's a tough break for the rest of the field. Again, nothing Sean Hill was trying to do intentionally, but just, I think, and this has been the message for a lot of these guys tonight, is you got to take a breather. Some nights it's going to be your night, some nights it's not, but too many guys, I think, trying to force it as their night tonight, and it's just kind of resulted in the mess that we've had so far. But, you know, we're going to stay optimistic. We could still very well see a good finish. You never know. And this is going to put us probably somewhere around 5 laps to go, if not a little bit less when we go back green.
Yeah, I think we'll see a good finish here. Like you said, I think guys are just not doing the give and take. They want to come out here and get the big money. Money is on the line. But I'll tell you what, when you start hearing guys chattering in the comments, they're frustrated. They're just as frustrated as anybody on the track right now, because either one, their truck's getting damaged, two, they can't stay out front because of the cautions. But man, oh man, all around, it's been a tough night. And not normally you see this on a Thursday night for PGR racing, you know, for the Blaster. So this is new. This is new to us as well, as we now are going to be, what, 4 laps to go when we go back to green, Austin?
Probably somewhere around 5 or 6 to go, yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think the only way you really fix this at this point is, and again, it's nothing that anybody specifically is necessarily doing wrong. It's just a combination of factors that kind of adds up and amplifies as the race goes on. You know, we hear the term cautions breed cautions, but if we could get, you know, the 45 laps at 100% fuel is designed for that one green flag pit stop. And as a driver, I always enjoyed that in the sense of I thought it was perfect. You know, one pit stop, you got to hit it right, else you're going to be out with a chance at no money. And at the same time, that one pit stop, it'll separate the field usually and kind of diminish that chance at a caution. But fortunately, we haven't been able to have one here tonight, but we'll see what happens, you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, strategy comes into play when you have that green flag racing and that green flag pit stop. It is challenging to figure out what's the right choice or not, as you have teammates that go in with you, and then if you don't have teammates, it's hard to figure out who's going to go in with you or who you're going to go in with. Because guess what? If you don't have that draft, you cannot stay on the lead lap. You cannot stay with the lead pack. So, you know, tonight, cautions, it's kind of been short runs, not those long runs as we typically see. Tonight, we got the long runs, and pit stops matter, and fuel matters, and tires maybe a little bit, not really here on a track like this, but it's been unique, and we still got guys like Steven and Cody Niegels and John Ellis Jr., Ryan Based up there in the front, that's top 4, and Jeff DeMarc in the 60, he's in 5th position. So big name still up front trying to get that money tonight.
Absolutely, and you know what? The guy to keep your eye on, kind of rooting for a little bit here, not biased, but Michael Triscaro, probably one of the guys that has the most energy when he gets a win, and I think he's going to be real excited if he can win it in his own series tonight. We'll have to see what happens. Quick little announcement before we go back green here. Just recently, I think it was a day or so ago, Ghost Racing Network Bryce, he got the email. The Ghost Racing Network was eligible to join the YouTube partnership program for monetizing videos. Got accepted, so now we do have super chat and super stickers, I believe is what they're called, available. And I think it's just below chat. If anybody is ever interested, I think you press on it, you can get a highlighted message, donate $1.50. Whatever your heart desires. If you ever think we're doing more than mid up here, we certainly would appreciate it. Besides the announcement that, we appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight. It certainly means a lot. I know there's a lot of ways you could spend your Thursday, but why not spend it watching these guys going at it for 45 laps? Here we go, getting ready to go back green. And Jacob, I know it's a long way to go, but if we can make it to that white flag, they can pile up as much as they want. This thing will be official.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see it happen. About 5 laps to go when we cross this finish line here as the pace car's off, and we're going to go back green flag racing. You picked your driver, Michael Triscaro. I'm going to go with a number 14, Alondro. Let's see what he can do. If I butchered the name, I apologize, but we are back green flag racing. Number 27's on the inside going into turn 1. Inside lane's not working so well. If that outside lane can make a push, let's see what they can do. Right now, it's 27, Steven Korsek up front.
Steven
Cody
Korsek.
Niegels on the outside trying to make a move.
And just as you're saying that, oh, there we go. He's going to make the move. I was going to just cut you off, Jacob, because it looks like he's going to the outside. He has to. He knows how fast Cody Nagel is, and Dustin Carruthers is going to take full advantage. He jumps to the top. Now Cody Nagel's back to the bottom. These guys are going at it. This might have been the racing we've been waiting to see all night. How about Dustin Carruthers and Michael Triscaro, two of the guys that don't have any wins? They're trying to get the third lane going. Cody Nagel's on the bottom. How long can they make this work?
I'll tell you what, we've been waiting all day for this. They know the money's on the line. We've only got 5 laps to go here. Look at them fan out as we are 3 wide. Driver up front in the middle, goes middle, see if he can make a move there. 2 more drivers up front, Steve and Cody. Now they're on the outside. Can the third line make a move?
And, man, they're starting to wiggle around a little bit, but if they can sit 3 wide for a couple laps, I think we might have a chance to finish this thing off green. Ryan Based leading the top line. He found himself in this position just last race. He finds himself in it yet again. But we're going to stay 3 by 3. We can't really focus on much else right now except the front because they are tight, and I don't see that many trucks that are hanging off this pack. Maybe a little single file line hanging to the inside, expecting another wreck. But at this point, if you're anywhere in this lead pack, it is all guns blazing. Go to the front, do whatever you can. And Cody Nagels right now finds himself out in front. Could he add to his win list, make it 2 here in the PGR Series? We're going to find out. 4 laps to go, this time at the line.
42 laps down as they cross the line. Not much to go. We got to go to the 45 mark, and this is the biggest pack we've seen all night. Look at him 3 wide. That middle pack is making a run as we have a truck on the inside. Can he make that happen? Side by side, neck and neck as they go. 42 laps down here at Talladega as they're on the backstretch.
This is where things really get tight. You know, we could see a 4th lane still, but you got to wonder who has the guts to make it happen. Right now, Ryan Based is doing an excellent job holding a real pretty wheel for Dustin Carruthers. And even Dustin, he is doing a job here that you don't see a lot of rookies do, but we're going to wreck out back. The 77's in it. Can they hold on to it? This time they're trying. We're going to go 4 wide here. They're still trying to hang on. Somehow, some way they do. Big wreck up front. That's going to be a big hit. Jeff Merck hard on the wall. And now the big pile-up's on here with 3 to go.
Austin, I thought they were going to stay green, but we had big problems in the middle of the pack. And they've got trucks everywhere in the grass, some in the pits, still making contact. Man, oh man, I thought for a split second it was going to stay green, but contact in that middle and the front of the pack caused that caution here. 43 laps, excuse me, down as we might have a green-white checkered flag finish.
Oh, it's going to be green, white, checkered for sure. We'll take a look back there in just a second. Now, I saw this pop up during the race, but it was so crazy I didn't have a chance to do it. How about it? Retro Obsessed with the $2 first Super Chat donation in Ghost Racing Network history. And you know what? $2, that means the world to me and Bryce here at Ghost Racing Network. We appreciate it. We're glad that you're tuning in. And one more big shout out for Retro Obsessed. Thank you again for the $2 in Super Chat. But Jacob, that wreck we just saw.
About, Austin.
You're right. That's what it is. I'm telling you,
that's
50
awesome.
cents.
It's awesome. Hey, congratulations to you to getting that full release from YouTube, and it's already paying off, and that's fantastic to see. And you guys put on a great show every single night on these Thursdays. But man, look at this. We're gonna go back on the replay. Let's see what happened here, Austin.
And I was gonna say, I mean, hey, anything from 50 cents. Anything, you know, it's just that thing of that extra thought that, you know, guys are watching and they care, and that's what really means the most. But just as you said, Jacob, looking back at this, ooh, that looks like Logan York. Hold on just a minute now. That looks like he may have turned down into the 77. That might have been a misjudgment. Now, ironically enough, that wasn't what caused the big wreck. Sure enough, that's what it's looking like. These guys did a heck of a job saving it. We'll take a look from the TV follow cam here. Yep, the 39 of Logan York just trying to duck down the line. He makes contact with a 77. It was clean there. Now watch up front. This is where we're going to have more issues. Jeff Merck's going to be the first to spin. Steve Korsak next up. And let's see what's going to go on here. Let's go to the chopper view. Watch what happens. So you see the middle here. Somebody's got to come up or come down. One of the two. The 14 of all. Ooh, Steve Korsak. That looks like a little bit of netco to me, Jacob. How about to you?
Yeah, it does, and we haven't seen that a whole lot tonight. But right there, yeah, it looks definitely netco, causing some issues in the front of the pack, and man, a lot of trucks involved on this one.
You talk about a pileup. That does not get any bigger than that. I mean, that was easily the big one of the night. That probably collected 20 to 30 trucks, at least.
Yeah,
My
and the 04 of Ambrose, he going to be a lap down, so that could be a problem. Ambrose in the 04, 1 lap down.
Holy moly. Speaking of holy moly, 44 viewers. I think that's the most we've ever had at one time. Everybody's having a good time out here tonight, even though it's been crazy. There's the first wreck. Watch this one more time. Look how big this. I mean, this collects just about the entire field. Even the spotter view can't quite catch it all.
I've got so much smoke in my screen that I'm looking on the replay. I can't see the trucks. There was so many involved there. And like we were talking about, you only have one fast repair tonight. So if you already burned it up, guess what? You're stuck with what you got for the rest of the race. And we've only have 2 to 3 laps left with the green, white, checkered. And that makes a world of difference. Any damage to that front of that truck, your RPMs are down, you're done for the day. Because you're not keeping up with drivers like John Ellis Jr., Cody Niegels, and Mike Davenport now. He started 23rd, is now looking 3rd place right now at 55.
Unfortunately, bad news for the Sierra fans. Looks like she got involved in that, and there's an on-rushing Ambrose Knievel for Blind Squirrel Racing. And I almost have to just laugh at it just because he looked like he never had a chance to scrub off speed. Even after he hit her, it looked like he was still full throttle into the pit wall. You see him stop down there. So unfortunately for Sierra, I think she might have a fast repair left, though, is because that damage earlier we talked about. Not sure if she used it or not. Either way, big wreck here to put us into our second overtime. Excuse me, I believe it's, yeah, sure enough, second overtime. And it's going to be...
Yes.
No, sorry,
yes.
First overtime. Excuse
This is
me.
our first overtime. Yep. So it looks like Sierra is not a lap down. I'm not sure if she's still in the pits. She is falling back. But let's see if she can make her way back out on the field, on the track. And the pace car lights are already off. So we are about to go green racing again with a green, white, checkered flag. So Austin, for the viewers at home, since we have so many tonight, you kind of explain that green, white, checkered flag, how this race may end and how it will end.
Absolutely. Well, as we take a look there, Sierra, it looks like she did have a fast pair and used it. It's pretty simple here. It's going to be a 2-lap shootout. They call it green, white, checkered because it's going to be the green flag waving followed by the white flag waving, and then the checkered flag waving, assuming we can make it that far. Now, if we don't make it to the white flag, we wreck them up and we get a caution. We're going to rack them up and try it again. However, if we take the white flag and they wreck after, even if it's the whole field, it's going to be who can fire it up and get back to the line first. Laggy Wagon in the chat with a second super chat. $1.99 donation. Thank you so much. Laggywagon says, let's go, Devin Rea. Devin Rea's been having a heck of a night for the most part, in the sense of we didn't really get to call him out too much tonight. He found himself towards the back at the start. Now, he did message me pre-race earlier, had some plans to be taken at 4 wide. He hasn't really had the chance to do it. And we did see the 85 caught up in a couple incidents, none of his causing. But hey, we've seen crazier things here at the end. We'll see what he can do. Thanks, Laggywagon, for the $1.99 in chat.
Now, did you say Devin Rea in the 85?
Sure enough.
Devin Rea in the 85 started 21st, now sitting 29th, but not to be biased. One of a driver I like to see out here try to get a win. I personally have broadcasted that driver before, and, well, pace car is off, Austin. We're going to go back green flag racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. Money is on the line. Let's not forget about it. $200 big money prize, as now John Ellis Jr. is in the inside, going to take us away into turn 1. We've got 3 laps to go. If the white flag comes out, they get in the mix and get a wreck going. This stays green, and whoever can finish cross that line first is going to get the money tonight.
Quick correction on that. 2 laps to go, but this is my favorite part of the broadcast, Jacob, because it gets the most exciting. All right, here we go. Drag race down the backstretch. Oh, but we're going to wreck again. Never mind. Take that back. See how many this one's going to collect. Man.
Austin, this is about the time where I just put my hand in the face and just say why. Why? Unfortunate. Another late caution. Man, oh man, Austin.
It's a good thing I got a plug-in headset here up, so I'd be out of battery by now. 45-lap race, and man.
I've already canceled my dinner reservations.
Well, you know, I mean, what can we do? We got to laugh. We got to make it light in here, because, you know.
You do. The
amount of caution tonight is just, we have not seen this before. We're not really sure what's going on at this point. I mean, we're basically the viewers at this point. We can't, normally we have a good idea of what we think's going to happen, but it's just not been that way tonight. Here we go. Let's take a look what goes on here this time, and another, looks like someone's going to get hooked here. I believe that's William Fox. Shane Posey says, is this fixed or open setups? It is fixed setups to keep it as even as possible. So let's go back here to Joshua McCall.
While you're looking at that, Austin, one thing I wanted to talk about is this is not a time race, really. So a lot of times you'll have time races, as we're looking at a replay here and see the wreck. A lot of times you'll have a time race, and if you run out of that time, the race is done when it ends. But tonight, we're going to go until we finish and go across that finish line. As we saw the wreck here, we've got multiple trucks involved on the backstretch. And not a lot of big contact, but it did happen. They stayed on the track, and that's what caused the yell to come out.
And from that view, I mean, to me, Jacob, it looks like 5 just come down a little bit. Hooks the 05, and it's on from there.
Well, after this, we're going to restack them, and we'll go back green and see if we can finish this race tonight, as we are extending our laps. This lap time was supposed to end at 45 laps. We are now going to go beyond that to now 47. I think it will end at about 50 if we stay green and finish this race. And I'm excited, though. John Ward, Cody Neagles, Daniel Ebenhart, we talked about him, Austin. He's now in second. Did we not call that name out? We talked to him early. Daniel Ebenhart, the third in the 90 car, started 24th, is now sitting second. So that's a big testament for him as he made his way through the pack. As we looked on board here, a lot of smoke.
Sierra drives through it, stays clean. But, you know, as you were talking about with Daniel Eberhart, we talked about him a few times for good reason. And John Mullahan just said it perfectly. Eberhart needs to be a zombie for Halloween because he keeps coming back from the dead. I couldn't agree more. This guy always finds a way. That's why he's been a road to pro driver, got second in the Podium 500, because he finds a way. And in a race like this, endurance is key. And as much as many of these guys might be tired, there is still a chance at getting a big payday, and still a good chance of getting any payday for a lot of these guys. It looks like Ambrose Kniebel races around to get a lap back. So we're going to be coming to 2 laps to go. We might get the 1 to go signal this time. We'll have to see what happens. Man.
Yeah.
Crazy race, though, so far.
Austin, I got to say, big shout out to everybody watching on Ghost Racing Network. Thanks for sticking it out with us here. 40-plus viewers. Like you were saying, one of the bigger viewerships of the year, and it's been a fantastic time. You guys are getting subs and stuff, and it's fun to be a part of, as we still have a big field on the lead lap here. So I'm excited.
You got to contribute that to, of course, part of because Sierra Race is in here. She's currently live on Twitch, has probably 4 times the viewers that we've got going on right now, but allows us to put the broadcast link in there so that some of them can get an alternate view if they want to watch her from a different angle. And we certainly appreciate that. But how about we get a quick word here with John Ward? He started in the back, and while it's been a little bit more methodical for him and not as crazy as somebody such as Daniel Eberhardt's journey, he has found his way to the front here, and he's going to be leading us back to green. Let's see if we can get a quick word with him. Hey, John, this is Austin and Jacob up at the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, man, crazy race. I don't even know what to say much about it anymore, but yet somehow, some way, you found a way to get yourself back to the front. Well, I guess I should say mainly to the front. It's been a journey from the back to the front all night, and you are up 38 positions from where you started. How'd you do it?
I tell you, I just keep my my head clean and my nose straight forward and just try to drive through the wrecks. They've been tearing them up tonight, Austin. I don't know what it is, but I still got my fast repair. I dodged one wreck. Don't know how I done it, but I've been getting through them here and got enough fuel for a few more green whites. I'm going to try to get it done up here. We'll see what happens.
Hey, John, real quick, it's Jacob in the booth. So, did you stay in the back? Were you patient? Where you been sitting this whole race to find yourself up front there, starting 39th now?
Well, my plan in the back was to stay in the back for a little while, and with the yellows coming out, I decided about halfway that I need to go up because it's going to be hard to get up to the front at the end of the race. So, after about lap 20, when we had that yellow, I started working my way up to the front there, and I've been up here trying to get after it. I got in to get with Alex a little bit and got down off the track and recovered, and I'm kind of a little nervous right now.
Hey, well, you're the leader now, and good luck to you. And, man, you're doing great work out there right now.
Thank you.
All right. Austin, we're about to turn into 3 and 4, and the pace car is going to come off, and we're going to go back green flag racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. What are your thoughts? Do you think we'll keep it clean and get a finish here now, or what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I hope so. I mean, John Mullahan, shout out in Super Chat, just donated $4.99, so at least I'll have some money to buy a beer if we don't. But, I mean, I'm getting excited for this thing. I think we can finish it off green. There's still, of course, plenty of trucks to make for a great side-by-side finish. John Ward, I think he's got a lot of momentum here. You know, making your way from the back to the front is no easy feat. So if you can do so, you certainly got to be feeling good about it. Daniel Eberhardt, he is going to be throwing some crazy blocks here. I'm telling you, watch for that 90 truck to do some things you probably weren't expecting him to do. And Cody Nagels, he's got to find a way here if he wants to win this thing to get to the outside of John Ward. But if not, he very well might just stick it in line and see what happens here. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go at Talladega. A lot of money on the line. Who wants to win it? 3 wide all the way towards the back already, but up front, the outside did not get a good restart. This is going to give Cody Nagels a chance to jump high, but if he does, will Eberhardt stick with him or take him 3 wide? Nagels is still thinking about it. He's pushing John Ward as hard as he can. He's not going to make the move. He stays to the inside. That allows Daniel Eberhardt to go to the outside with Dylan Jones.
Dylan C. Jones in that 33.
Yellow flag is out. Sorry to interrupt you, Jacob.
No, you're good, and I don't know where it happened. Where was the yellow?
All the way in the back. Man.
Well, do you have, can you split that money so I can get a beer too?
I think so, but hey, you know, gives us a good time to give that shout out. Mullahan, teammate, McCall Motorsports represent, said Ward Eberhardt, of course, with that $4.99 super chat, highest one of the night. Appreciate you, John. Well, I mean, I guess the best way to start is let's go back and take a look here. Man, this is just about for last place at this point. Guys scurrying for track position. Looks like some contact there between David Sheets and Chris Hodges and Mark Vondell as well. That's 2 teammates and then a non-teammate, and they just all get jumbled up together down to the green truck of Corey Buskirk. Nothing he could do, and up into Mark Vondell, who gets back into the outside wall, and it's pretty much all there was to it.
Well, 51 laps down. That's going to bring out a caution again, and we're going to re-rack them, get them all back together, and see what these drivers can do if we can end this race and get a victory and get some payouts going. But right now we've still got a full squad, a full field on the racetrack. I mean, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 cars off the lead lap.
Absolutely. Looking like in chat here as we're getting ready. Well, you know what? We'll hold that for just a minute. Talk about your top 5. John Ward still has the lead. Cody Nagels second. And this worked out for Cody Nagels in the sense of now he is going to be starting on the front row. We'll see if whoever's pushing him, Dylan Jones, I think it's going to be, is going to stick with him. Daniel Eberhardt third, Dylan Jones fourth, and John Ellis Jr. rounding out your top 5. And 45-lap race, that's one of those things we usually dabble with an hour. We are now over an hour and a half. Still yet to have this thing finished. We'll see what happens. But looking in the chat, Laggy Waggy says, now that you monetize, you should do donation when money race. Winner wins all donations, free admission. It's a pretty darn good idea. I know that's something I've heard of guys do in terms of like a donation streams, but yeah, it'd be a cool way to do it, a donation race. Any super chat donations go straight to it. Certainly a good idea for sure. And then it
Very
looks
interesting.
like,
That is it. That would be a cool little race to do.
And then looks like Bryson here, owner, says set up something to do. Yep, sure enough. Now the membership thing is a little interesting as well, and of course this is the last time we'll talk about it tonight. Wasn't planning on talking about it this much, but we got to have some chatter to have something to talk about. It's going to be pretty interesting in the sense of it'll be, I don't think it's anything expensive. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I assume the way it, however it works, you pay to get in it and you get special perks, and those perks I think are certain things that we can set up. We'll have to make some good ideas for that. And you know, hey, we had someone ask about if we sold a Ghost Racing Network shirt. We certainly don't right now, but it's been teased before by Bryce, so you never know. We'll have to see how things pan out. But either way, getting back to the race here we have on hand. You know, I meant to mention this earlier, Jacob, but I think a big part of the reason that we have seen as many cautions as, you know, we've seen here tonight is because each time we have one, it just hasn't taken out a lot of trucks. Now, granted, a couple of the big ones we had at the end did, but those early cautions that we had probably six, seven of, and then the 2 that we've had here just recently, they really didn't take out but maybe one, 2 trucks at the most, and usually it was just giving those trucks a little bit of damage. So because of that, it just keeps kind of giving more and more cautions.
Yeah, with that fast repair, I think we had one wreck that really took out quite a few, and they had to go in the pits and get that fast repair. And then what we're seeing late in this race is guys just spinning, having some issues, maybe some contact in the rear, the side, and they're not low on RPM, so they don't have to go in the pit. But like you said, right, not a lot of drivers off the lead lap. We still have a full field. But your drivers who have stayed alive is John Ward, Cody Nagels, Daniel Eberhardt, the 90, and Dylan C. Jones in the 33. He started 38th, is now sitting 4th. So now you have in the top 4 2 drivers that started grid 39th and 38th. One is in first place, and that's John Ward, and the other driver's in 4th place. That's Dylan C. Jones. That would be quite the feat to come out here and get a first place win starting that far back in this field at Talladega.
Absolutely. Looking back here, keeping on a couple of big hitters. Gabe Butler for Dale Cup. I think he is due for when he's got all the skill to do it. Things just haven't worked out. Heath Job as well. Been having a great run all night. He has been waiting for a break. He could get it right here, hoping we don't give him the announcer jinx so we won't stay on him too long. Michael Triscaro, in fact, all of Team PGR still has 3 or 4 of their drivers inside the top 10. How about Jackson Byes? He has also found his way into the top 10. That's a really cool looking paint scheme too. He's got the Ghost Energy Drink scheme. Nice looking colors there. Michael Triscaro, we just talked about him. Trevor Oswornoff, he's just outside the top 10, kind of an up and down night. We'll see what he can do. And Richard Elliott, 15th for JBR E-Racing. Joshua Watson is in his vicinity as well, so you never know. They might have a chance at it. Now, I do got to say here in the chat, J.R. Miller rooting on his team says, go Team PGR with the $5 super chat donation. Let's go, J.R. Appreciate it. And, man, I'm sitting here trying to contain myself. Appreciate all you guys. Even, again, the super chats tonight have been incredible. It's our first night having it. And we thank you guys so much for giving us whatever you got and out here having fun. And Laggy Waggy says, I can help with merchandise. I had my own company and made shirts. And apparently we just had all the right people watching here tonight. This is sweet. Keep it up.
A lot of support, a lot of love here tonight, man. That's awesome. Sierra, don't count her out. Big time Twitch name. Go check her out. She's in the 48. She started 26, is now in 25th. She is kind of in the middle of the pack where she can make a big move and maybe get a win. If that were to happen tonight, that would be something to see and quite the show. But pace car lights are off, and it is coming off the track. Austin, take it away as we are now another green-white checker flag, and we crown the winner in first place, some money.
All right, we're going to try it again. We keep getting amped up, and they keep dimming us back down. But, oh, we got a big checkup in the back. Dustin Carruthers, did they all keep it together? And Steve Korsak on the apron missed it, so they do keep it together. Now back up front for the restart here. John Ward, Daniel Eberhardt, they're going to see the green flag. 2 laps to go. It's the second overtime here for the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series. Going to be a pretty good jump. Now this time both lines aren't quite as even. We'll have to see what happens, but they're going to stick side by side as we work our way down into turn 1. Second row, Dylan Jones, Cody Nagels. Those two are the deciding factor, but even more deciding than that, how about John Ellis Jr., the third truck on the outside? Daniel Eberhardt sneaks into the lead, but here comes John Ward back on the bottom.
John Ellis Jr. in that 21. Big name to look out for. Started 11th, now's 5th. Is he going to make the move on the outside? Can he get some help taking it 3 wide? I think they're going to do it after turn 2 and 3. Let's see what happens.
We saw more 3 wide further back, but we're going to go back up front because that's where all the action is going to matter. Short shooting a trial to go to make this thing official off of turn 4. John Ward still leading the way. Cody Nagels in second. I'm not sure, Jacob, if I expect another move from that 6 truck or not. Gabe Butler for Dale Cup. He sits third on the inside line. Right now it's going to be a pushing match, and who wants to take it 3 wide? It is going to be official. White flag is in the air one more time around.
White flag's out. Even if they do, they get loose in the back. It stays green. Let's see who can win this. John Ward, Daniel Ebenhart in the 3rd, in the 90, up 2nd. Cody Nagels in the 6th. Can he do it?
All right, here we go. John Ward, Cody Nagels still locked up. Dylan Jones, Daniel Eberhardt, they're going to line up for a push and watch for whichever lane sagging back off of 4. The momentum really likes to swing in these trucks. I think that's what's going to be now. Dylan Jones wiggles just a little bit. John Ward still running the inside. Daniel Eberhardt on the outside. Cody Nagels, he's not going to get clear. Who can push harder? Now he goes down the apron. He turns John Ward back in the middle of the pack. They're all wrecking. Eberhardt's going to sneak through to win this race. Nobody survives.
Upside down.
The 90 is going to drive through. Nobody's going to make him. He is untouched at the line after 50-plus laps of chaos. Daniel Eberhardt wins it at Talladega.
Unbelievable, Austin. Trucks upside down. Multiple trucks on their hoods. Wow, what a finish to this race at Talladega.
And, man, we are going to have some stuff to sort out here, so make sure you stick with us. At least we got some of the stuff sorted out. Oh, my goodness. Retro Obsessed says supporting Brent Garber, Chief Moorhead on Twitch. And make sure you go check him out. Always feel free to drop that stuff in the chat for us. Okay, so we know Daniel Eberhardt's probably going to come down here and burn this thing out. We'll get to that, but, I mean, Jacob, the amount of stuff that we just saw going on the white flag, I mean, we got to go one by one here. Let's, I guess, go ahead and start with the first wreck that happened out back. We're not going to focus on it too hard because it didn't actually matter in the race for the lead, but we certainly did see a couple guys spinning, getting involved in this incident. Let's see where it starts here. It looks like Seth Reeder might have been one of the trucks involved here in the 89. Let's back this up to the TV follow cam and take a good view of it. Oh, they're like 4 wide just about, 3 wide, and whatever contact ensued, Sierra does a heck of a job missing that there. So does William Scott and Jason Maines. I don't know how they all miss it, but they're going to wreck a little bit more. Now, up front, man, I thought they were going to keep it clean. We've seen this a couple times now, Jacob, not just in the PGR series, but on the last lap. Guys, it's really happened in turn 3 and 4 recently where somebody gets pushed below the apron and it ends up turning the leader, and that's what it looked like happened again right here. Here we go. Cody Nagels, Gabe Butler's pushing him, trying to get him back to the bumper. It's a slight little stack-up effect, but that stack-up effect is they had a 4 or 5 truck tandem going. Oh, my goodness. Sends Cody Nagels down to the apron. Gabe's still pushing, and Cody just nothing he could really do. He couldn't really stay off of John Ward. I don't think he was trying to turn him, obviously, just he couldn't quite hold it off. In fact, we'll back it up one more time to show you at full speed what it looks like.
Yeah, I think he just got pushed right through. There's nothing intentional here.
And then Daniel Eberhardt, a lot of bad luck, but he's finally going to get some good luck. And there's the flipping. Oh, my goodness, the 88. Somebody's taking home some pretty cool parts from that truck. He was definitely in the grandstands at that point. But Daniel Eberhardt drives through. And I'll tell you what, Jacob, that is about the best feeling you can get as a driver. When you see a big wreck like that, big payouts on the line, and you know there is absolutely nobody you have to worry about, man, it just doesn't happen often. So you get to almost celebrate it longer as the whole short shoot and travel, you're sitting there screaming, you know you've got it won.
Yeah, as you're passing through and you make it through there clear, you're looking in the back and they're all mixed up wrecking. You're hitting your steering wheel saying, yes, 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 I did it, $200 my way. I got the money, and he got first place, number 90, Daniel Ebenhart. Fantastic job from him. Brent Garber, the 71, he started 25th, is now 2nd. He got the money too. I think he's going to get $200 payout. He got through there clear as well. And Michael Chiscaro on the 34, he's in 3rd. So the top 7, those drivers are going to be the ones getting the money tonight.
And of course, all these guys, they're full throttle at this point because, what else can they do? It's the last lap. And if you see a big wreck, your best bet is to stay full throttle and hope you make it through. Now, before we check out Daniel Eberhardt's burnout, one more guy I got to take a look at here is Zachary Lima. Him missing this wreck was an absolute thing of beauty. Watch this from the view of the Ford truck. This is absolutely incredible. He went under trucks, around trucks. There we go. You see the big wreck, and he's just going to put the right foot down a little bit farther. Oh my goodness, it's like the sea split. Are you kidding me? And that was enough to get him into a paid position.
Yeah, he's getting his money back tonight, Austin, with that driving skill.
Man, oh man, all right. Well, now that the race is over, we'll go up to Daniel Eberhardt. I'm sure he did a burnout coming around after this thing was all said and done. Give you a final look at the last lap, and as it does so, we're going to go pull in your top 3 for interviews. Stick with us. Back live, Talladega Superspeedway. Daniel Eberhardt pulling his way around to victory lane, but we're going to start with third place finisher. Jacob Emery will be standing by with second place, but before we get there, how about it? We just heard him in the chat, streaming live on Twitch, and it's going to be Brent Garber. Brent, you got a copy?
Yep, I got a copy.
Well, I think this was your first PGR race. I could be wrong, but you started from where you started to finish up 22 positions. Crazy race. How did you manage to get yourself into the podium position with all the chaos on that last lap?
Yeah, first off, I want to thank Ghost Racing Network. Awesome stream. I've been listening while I'm racing. I came down, took 4 tires on the pit stop, put me all the way back to 31st, and just let these boys race, man. It was an awesome race, awesome broadcast, and I had a lot of fun.
Well, you were certainly fun to watch all night. And, hey, getting a third-place finish, you got to assume it's going to carry some momentum for when you decide to do this next time. But I got to think you got to think about teammates and, racing by yourself tonight. How hard was it without those teammates?
Yeah, it was really hard. I know one of the race admins was racing with me there at the end, and he blew on by me. I thought we tied, and I didn't want to wreck him, take him out. But, yeah, being a single-car team, it's been really tough, and it was a lot of fun out there, though.
Give me just 1 second there as I accidentally went a little muted. I want to say thanks for talking to us. Congrats on the third place finish. But before we let you go, is there any sponsors or anybody watching you want to thank or shout out?
Nope, just Chef Moorhead on Twitch. I broadcast it. Ghost Racing Network and PBR, man. You guys are great.
All right. And, hey, maybe we'll see you next week. Thanks for talking to us.
Yep, thank you.
And that's going to move us on to our second place finisher where Jacob Emery stands by with Michael Triscara.
What's going on?
Michael, you got a copy. It's Emery in the booth.
I do, man. How you doing?
Good, good. Hey, man, you made it through that end of the wreck. What were your thoughts going through the smoke, the fire, and all the trucks getting crazy?
Well, I had some damage, so I kind of anticipated that was going to happen the way this night went. So I just told my teammate, Danny Barnes, to stay behind me. We had damage, so we weren't that fast. And if a wreck happens, I'm going to the apron. I'm going to avoid it, and I'm going to try to get in a money spot. And I almost got second there. It looked like I was nosed by about a foot. But it was fun to finish that way. Not the best race overall, but always good to finish in the money.
Absolutely. Well, you got the money tonight. Congratulations. Any sponsors, people you want to thank before you take off?
Yeah, man, I just want to thank my teammates, Danny, Heath, John Darnell, J.R. Miller, Mike Davenport has been there since day one, Nash Brambilla, man, we've been racing, actually. We've been putting a lot of work in a lot of official or like hosted races, smaller money races this week, and we're really coming together as a team. But these guys are a lot of fun, man. They've been with me, some of these guys have been with me since the beginning, and I can't thank them enough for racing with me every week and being a part of PGR and growing it this big. So, and thank you guys too for putting this on for us tonight. Thank you.
Absolutely. Michael, I know how good of a driver you are, and congratulations tonight on that finish, and you got the money, and we'll see you next week.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, take care.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and pull in your race winner, and that is Daniel Eberhardt. Daniel, this is awesome. Jacob up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you were kind of trending in the chat here tonight, man. You kept going from the back to the front. Crazy race, though. So before I guess we get to how you got the job done, tell us about your night overall going from front to back.
Yeah, holy cow, dude. I think I went to the front to the back about 4 times, it felt like, and then I was saving fuel. I had like 3 laps of fuel left. I was for screaming and being aggravated and just all over the place, my head spinning about it. Dude, it was just insane. I mean, holy cow. How much money I win, Austin? $200? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Woo!
Let's go.
I think so. Well, hey, big money for the man that knows how to get it done. There's a reason that they call you one of the best at super speedways. Now, at the end there, me and Jacob were kind of talking about it. I feel like there's a different feeling as a driver when you see the whole field piling up in your mirror, and you know it's a no contest on that final straightaway. What was going through your head?
That I just won this mug. I mean, what? I mean, dang, dude. And you hate it because the bottom line wrecked at the bottom, and I like John Ward, and he's a good guy, and I had Dylan pushing me. You hate to see good guys get wrecked like that, and you want it to end, kind of tough, but hey, I'll take it how I can get it tonight. I mean, it's been a struggle since I've been back money racing. I said I was going to retire, but I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Back with a fire. All right, hey, thanks for talking to us. Before we let you go, though, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
Yeah, Ryco.gg, all the big guys at Ryco going road to pro racing here in round 2. So thank you to those guys for all the help they ever give me. McCullough Motorsports for helping me out tonight, working with them. Dylan Jones, he's a good friend of mine. He's always running up front. Just thank you for you putting on this broadcast, and thank you to Michael for putting on this series, man. I mean, we can weed out the little bad racing for a little while. I know it's a late night and stuff like that, but he'll get a hang of it. He'll know what he needs to do here shortly, and I know he'll get it right.
All right, thanks for talking to us. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, well, before we finish this thing off, let's talk about your results real quick. Then a couple things to talk about. Daniel Eberhardt brings home the win. And the results on screen might be mixed up just a little bit because Michael Triscaro actually got second. Brent Garber finishes in third. Yep, sure enough. And then Ron Morris Jr. in fourth. Fifth is going to be John Ellis Jr., Danny Barnes sixth, Zachary Lima seventh, Jeff Merck eighth, Ryan Bass ninth, Trevor Oswornoff in 10th, Joshua Watson 11th. Good comeback for him. Devin Rea 12th. Another good comeback. Dustin Carruthers in 13th. Sarah Clampert, she manages to recover for tonight 14th after Rex. That she managed to do a pretty good job avoiding it. And I think if we had another 10 laps, she maybe finds herself in the money. Heath Job 15th, Nash Barbilla 16th, Brock Westmoreland in 17th, Thomas Parker 18th, 19th is going to be Jason Main, Sean Hill rounding out your top 20. Jeremy Osborne 21st, David Sheets 22nd, Christopher Hodges 23rd, Ian White 24th, Joshua McCall 25th. It's going to be Seth Reeder 26th, Ken McCall Jr. 27th, Brian Watson 28th, Logan York 29th, William Fox finishes in 30th, John Ward 31st, Cody Nagels 32nd, Dylan Jones 33rd, Gabe Butler 34th, Jackson Baez 35th, Mike Davenport 36th, Richard Elliott 37th, Alejandro Montes Diaca in 38th, 39th, Steve Korosek, William Scott 40th, Jordan Stensel 41st, 42nd, Mark Vondell, Corey Buskirk 43rd, Ambrose Cadibo 44th, John Darnell 45th, Chad Ross 46th, Jared Miller 47th, Jack Colton finishes 48th, Cash Colt 49th, and it's going to be, looks like Carson Freeman, finishing in that 50th position. But of course, 3 trucks did not start. Looks like Retro Obsessed says Garber got second, I think. And we have 2 different stats here showing us that one he finished second, one he finished third.
Yeah, we'll have to look back at that.
So I have to look back on that and show. Well, you know what, Jacob? The first race you joined me here, and I got to be honest, normally we see a lot cleaner than this, but on the opposite side of that, the stream tonight was absolutely phenomenal. You did a heck of a job here, and I think you were probably the reason we had probably one of the best viewerships that we've ever had tonight.
Well, I wouldn't give myself that much credit. Come on. I want to say, hey, thanks to the owner, Bryce, I believe, and Ghost Racing Network for letting me come in and join you for this broadcast. It's been a lot of fun. You know what, Austin? I think me and you do a great job together in the booth. We should do it more often.
We certainly should. And looking at the race tonight, I don't know if you have any final notes. I think Daniel Eberhardt put it the best with, got to clean some of the little issues up here and there. Besides that, I mean, what can you do? It's just sometimes the nature of the beast.
Yeah, it was a little chaos tonight. It does happen sometimes at these races. Talladega Superspeedway, you'll see some wrecks and a lot of action going on, and we saw that tonight and just how it played out. But either way, it was a fun finish. Fantastic. If you want to go back and watch it again on YouTube, I'll tell you what, there'll be a lot of carnage going on. But I'll tell you what, Daniel and Garber and Michael in the 34, top 3, top 4, they did a great job. They got some money tonight, and it was fun to be a part of.
Certainly did. Well, before we say our final goodbyes, don't forget FEG PC Money Racing tomorrow night, Saturday night, will be host here on Ghost Racing Network. Don't miss out. Retro Obsessed says, awesome broadcast. Can't wait for more. Well, we appreciate you guys, and I think you're going to be in for a treat the next couple races, assuming we get things cleaned up. Matthew Baker set to return with me next week for the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series. Awesome night in the booth. Awesome night with Jacob Henry. And if you guys enjoyed, we hope to see you next time. Thank you all, and have a good night.